Herschel Walker continued hitting the campaign trail on Sunday in his attempt to unseat incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock. Walker stuck mostly to his usual stump speech, mocking Warnock's debate performance and criticizing his congressional record helping pass key Biden-backed legislation. Though the Senate remains under Democratic control, thanks to Catherine Cortez Masto's victory in Nevada, Republicans are working hard to pick up the seat they lost in 2021. Should Walker prevail, the balance of power in the upper chamber will be 50-50, with Vice President Kamala Harris casting the tie-breaking vote. Winning the seat would better position Republicans in 2024, a cycle from which they could emerge with a majority. Neither party is taking any chances, with money pouring into the Peach State runoff with party stalwarts ready to hit the trail for their respective candidates.
Hello there. Hello. Thank you. In the speech I ever make, I always give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you. And I also acknowledge my wife, Julie, who's in this fight with me. But all of you is in this fight. All of you is in this fight with me, and I want to thank you for being in this fight with me, because this is a fight, and we're going to win this fight. I want you to know that. We're going to win this fight, because in a time like this, God prepared me for it. In a time like this, he prepared me for it, because I tell the little story about as this little kid growing up, my mom said I was big bone, which meant I was fat. And I used to have a speech impediment. So for 4 years of my life, I never went out for a recess. For 4 years of my life, I never spoke in a classroom. But because of the grace of God, he had a mission for me. So he got me this scholarship to go to the University of Georgia. Yes, in Georgia, and he got me this opportunity to win a Heisman Trophy. And then he got a chance to put me on the 1992 Olympic bobsled team. Think about it. It's a lot colder on bobsled than it is right now. So I got a chance to be on a bobsled team. But the Lord knew he was preparing me for a moment like this, because he said, I'm not strong enough yet. He said I wasn't strong enough. And then somebody told me I had a mental problem. Think about it. Like Herschel Walker had a mental problem. I'm talking about myself in third person, but I know that. So I'm like, how in the world can I have a mental problem? Guys, I never drank before in my life. I never tasted beer. Never taken any drugs, never had any medicine in this body. They said I had a mental problem, and I said, if you got a problem, you got to get that problem taken care of. So I decided to go to this hospital out in California. So, I did. I went to this hospital out in California, and as I was sitting in this hospital, I go, whoa, these people here are crazy. These people here are crazy. I'm not like them. But then, as my mom taught me that we all fall short of the glory of God, that what happens to us sometimes, we get ashamed and we just hide it and we don't deal with it. So I started dealing with it. But then what happened is I got out of that hospital and I built this little company. This was so funny about this little company that I built. For 5 years, I remember going to these food shows, sitting up this booth like I was out a street vendor. And people used to come and take pictures with me, and they'll order from me. And then I would miss my flight to go home, and I get home, and all of a sudden I look at the orders, they cancel that order on me. They did me like that for 5 years, but I didn't quit. I stayed with it, and today this company is one of the largest minority-owned companies in the United States of America. Because of the grace of God, but no. But then God said, you're ready. He said, you're ready because you now get ready to go up against a wolf in sheep clothing. And y'all saw that wolf during that debate, didn't you? You saw that wolf during that debate when he became Scooby-Doo at one time. When they asked him a question, they said, sir, would you support Biden in 2024? And he goes, oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's what he became. And the Lord said, you have to go up against someone that's going to try to separate my people. Because in the Bible I read, doesn't talk about the color of your skin, it talk about your heart. But yet he's in a church that all he talks about is the color of your skin. Because if you listen to him, he said, America need to apologize for its whiteness. And I wanted to say in the Bible I read, God asked for that you can be forgiven. How can I forgive you if you can't forgive your heavenly brother? And he don't know about this forgiveness or this redemption, does he? And then he want to just separate people because he wants your vote. But he's not going to get that vote because I'm in his way right now. The Lord prepared me to get in His way right now. Because as I started looking, I said that I wasn't supposed to be running for no politics. Do you think I wanted to be a senator? Guys, I was doing okay. I was doing all right, but I said, no, you're not going to hurt my family. And all of you are my family. I don't care what color your skin is. All of you are my brothers and my sisters. And I would not let a senator hurt my brothers and my sisters because, you know, one of the first things he did, when he got to Washington, he decided that he's going to bend his bike and let Joe Biden ride his bike. And I said, sir, until you can straighten your bike up. Straighten your bike up and don't let nobody ride your bike because all of a sudden you start doing everything he asked you to do. You gave up our energy to our enemies. And giving up our energy to our enemies meant now we're in a national security problem. I don't know if y'all know that we're getting ourselves in a national security problem. And they're not talking about it. They're not talking about it, but yet they want to talk about everything else except the problems that's happening in this country right now. Do your pocketbook feel better today than it did 2 years ago? Do your saving accounts feel better today than it did 2 years ago? And you wanted to retire, but now you can't retire because of what they're doing to this economy. But that happened when they decided to give up our energy. When they decided to give our energy up, and then the supply chain. Y'all see what's happening right now. I'm in that business. Right now, diesel fuel is going up. Gas is going up, and all of a sudden, y'all may not know this. Strategic Petroleum Preserve, they gave those up too. And he let him give it to China. He let them sell it to China. Can y'all believe we're giving things to China? They're afraid to stand up against China, where Herschel Walker not afraid to stand up against China. I'm not afraid to stand up against China because I'm sick and tired of them thinking that we are not good people. They want to put this country down, and they get mad when you say make America great again. And I'm saying you live here in America. Shouldn't you want it to be great? This is where you live at. Shouldn't you want it to be better than anyone else? Guys, we're not a second-rate citizen. We're not second-rate country. We're first. And until we can get leaders in Washington that say we're going to be first, we're always going to be second. Well, when I'm in there and Senate, I'm going to fight for us to be first because that's who we are. We're going to become, as Ricky Bobby said, if you're not first, you're last. And we're never going to be last. Not in my book. And then we have this senator that came to Washington and forgot about us. He forgot about us. He put men and women's sports. He voted to put men and women's sports. And I was that senator that's sort of like putting Herschel Walker to compete against your daughter. Do y'all want me to compete against your daughter? That's what he want to do. Well, it don't work. Biological men shouldn't be in women's sports. He should have known that. But yet he hadn't known it because we're still discussing what is a woman. They're trying to discuss what is a woman. I know what a woman is. A woman is written in my Bible that I read because it said a man and a woman. And a woman is real from a man. We don't need to discuss that, but what they're trying to do, they're trying to fool you, get you all off the stuff that they need to be concerned about. Telling you what is a woman. They know what a woman is, and they also know a man can't get pregnant. We don't need to discuss that. A man can't get pregnant. Get it out of your head. What we need to discuss is get it back under control. Get national security problems. Get those under control. What we need to discuss is discuss the crime in the streets. And do you know why the crime is in the streets? Because the guy running against wanting to call all men and women in blue thugs and bullies. Yet they have sacrificed so much for us to have all the freedom that we have right here in the United States of America. They sacrificed. And yet he called them names only because he don't have respect for them. Well, we're going to have respect for them because we support all men and women in blue, and I will always support all men and women in blue. He can call them what he wants, but I'm going to tell you, I want them to know Herschel Walker will always stand with you because they stand with me. And I'm always stand with them. The other night, I tell the story when I was leaving the campaign office. As I was leaving, it starting to get dark outside, and I watched this officer pull over this car, this little white car with dark windows. And as this officer was getting out to walk up to the car, I started to get nervous. I got nervous because all we see is iPhones today. We see all those iPhones. We always seeing that something going wrong. So I started getting nervous. What's going to happen? I hope this officer don't hurt him. Maybe we need to reform the officers. And then I said, no, I got it wrong. I'm not going to let the left transform me into this is the new normal. This is not the new normal. Why don't we transform the citizen to show the respect to the officers as well? Why don't we transform them to show respect to the officers? Because everybody want to go home safe. All they're doing is wearing a uniform, but their moms and their dads, Their brothers and their sisters, they have a life just like we have a life. But we got to get leaders in Washington that's going to be strong and not just bow down to whatever it seems to be coming around for that week. And I can tell you right now, I'm not that person. I'm not that politician because I'm that warrior for God that I wanted to come and do this right now. I'm not going to let them do things. They were trying to now decide if you can pray alone by yourself. They want to take your religious freedoms away. They now want the government to run your life. That's what they're trying to do to you right now. They want the government to run your life. And I'm going to tell you what, not on my watch. Not on my watch, because too many people have died and for that freedom and the liberties. They've died for this flag. And right now, we're not going to sell them out. We're not going to sell them out because God is a good God, is he not? God is a good God. And that's the reason he brought me here. He brought me here because I'm not afraid to tell him I don't dance and sing for nobody. And I never have and I never will. And now let's get back to our kids. Let's get back to our kids because they call our moms and dads domestic terrorists. Domestic terrorists, if you want to know what the kids are being taught in schools. Because what they want to do is control the minds of our young people. Because they know we're a little bit too old. That we're not going to fall for that trick. So they're going to our young people. And I'm saying not on my watch. Not on my watch. Our kids need to be taught how to read and write. Not about critical race theory. They need to be taught how to do math. Not about gender ideology. They need to have these security guards there, not have men and women sports, but we got to get leaders in Washington that's going to do the right thing for our kids. Well, Herschel would do the right things for our kids because they deserve the right to have that American dream like I've had. And I'm going to fight for them to have that American dream that I've had. Because that's what they've done. No. Because this is the reason I'm telling you to tell all your friends to vote for me. Because I go to Washington, they ain't going to like me there. I can promise you they ain't going to like me there because I'm going to fight for the people. And that's who I need to fight for, not for Washington, D.C. I'm fighting for all of you because I read in my thing, I read it said, we the people. And that's what we got to get it back and put it back in the people's hands because we can make good decisions. Well, I don't need a government running my life. Do you want it to run your life? And y'all want you to think about this. Think about this. The senator that I'm running against. He said he got excited to go to Biden and ask him to do that student relief loan. Y'all saw that student loan they gave? Can y'all believe that student loan? Hey, that's not fair, is it? Did y'all co-sign for someone's loan? And then, y'all don't know what you just saw. The judge and said that's not constitutional. And Senator Warnock asked them to sign a student loan. And then you find out what they were going to do with that loan, didn't you? They said that they were going to, go on vacation. They were going to go to dinner. They were going to have drugs and alcohol and go gambling. I'm like, that's like hanging out with Hunter Biden for the weekend, isn't it? That's what they were going to do with that loan. Hey, we don't want that. That's not what we want. What we want is we want them to quit spending our money. We want them to quit spending our money because I'm going to tell you this right here. And I don't know if you heard this. He spent $100 million against me already. Can you believe that? $100 million. And we're running in a tie. That means he don't even know how to spend his money. So quit spending your money. That's what he needs to do. Quit spending your money. He hasn't learned that yet. That you can't just spend your money. Well, that's what I'm going to get him to stop doing when I get to Washington. Quit spending money you don't have. He don't know about spending nobody's money. He know how to evict people, don't he? He can evict people, can he? But then he blamed me. And I'm telling you, quit blaming me, sir. Take responsibility for what you are doing, not what somebody else is doing. Since you've been in office, y'all think about this. Less than 2 years since he's been in office, y'all see where we at right now. And they're trying to fool you and hey, we're going to give you the new normal. We can do better. They even told you, and y'all need to listen to this. You saw what Biden, they asked him, said, will you do anything different? He said no. When yet 70% of America said that they're headed in the wrong direction. They won't turn around. And if you watch one of Warnock's advertising commercial, he was running in the track around the wrong way. He was running backwards. So he don't even know how to run on the track correct. Then we're going to have him to run our life. If you can't do that correct, how can we have him running our life? It is time for him to get out of that office. It is time for him to go. And it's time for us to be evicting him. It's time for him to go, no. I need to tell you this. Because they always have these great politicians stand in front of you. You can see I'm not a politician. Don't look like one. Don't act like one. Don't sound like one. Because I'm not that politician. I'm that warrior for God I've told you about. Because I'm going to tell you right now. I happen to look at our military, the greatest fighting force ever assembled in the whole world. Our lethal fighting military. But now they want to bring pronouns into our military. Pronouns into our military. What the heck is a pronoun? Hey, we got to get out of this pronouns, get back to teaching them how to do push-ups, how to do sit-ups, because the morale is down in our military. Recruitment is down only because of the pronouns. Well, maybe Senator Warnock pronouns be to be former senator pronoun. That's what he need to be, former senator, and leave the people a house, because we are sick and tired of him going to Washington representing everybody else except us. He's not representing us. He's been representing himself. Do y'all know, as we've gotten poor, he's gotten richer? His income has gone up. How in the world did his income go up? He's supposed to be the captain of the ship. Don't he supposed to go down with the ship? But no. He pushing us down. He pushing us down while he sitting up there riding on top of us. Well, that won't happen with me. Because I'm going to tell you, if we one can't go through it, we all not going to go through it. Not one going to go through it. Because I'm going to tell you this, as I told everybody, as my offensive lineman said, Herschel, follow me. I'm going to take you to the promised land. I'm going to tell y'all, vote for me. I can promise we all get to the promised land. Because if one can't get there, we're all not going to get there, because we're going to do this together. We're going to do this together. Because in the book I read, remember I told you, a house divided cannot stand. And you got to remember that. A house divided cannot stand. And that's what Senator Warnock want to do. He want to divide you. He want to divide you because he can get your vote. And if he can get your vote, he think he's going to go to Washington to represent you. Let me tell you what, he represent himself. And that's all he know how to represent himself. And then he blames everyone else. He want to throw all those big words at Sully, because Sully the name of Dr. King. Y'all saw him in that debate when he got caught with doing that eviction. I want to sully the name of Dr. King. No, you are sullying the name of Dr. King by throwing Dr. King in your problem. That's sort of like when you do something bad, you blame God. God said, I don't want your junk. Get your own junk. Take care of your junk. So we want to tell Senator Warnock, take care of your own problem. Quit blaming somebody else. Stand up like a man and say you can take care of your problem, and that's what he won't do. And y'all ask me why I'm running because I'm sick and tired of having people in Washington that are weak. It's time for us to get people in Washington that are strong. They're going to stand up for strong people. You guys have worked all your life. I worked all my life. I don't know what he's done, because he lived off parishioners and taxpayers. He never done a job. He never signed the front of a paycheck. I have, but he hasn't. And yet he's going to talk about Herschel Walker. Hey, let me tell him, I'll give him a job if he need a job, and I'll pay him more than he's getting right now. So why don't he come work for me, because he's not doing a good job as a senator? Come work for me and sell some chicken. I think he'll be good at selling chicken. That's what he needs to be doing. So I'm going to tell you right now. I want you to go out, because you can only vote if you voted in the last time. That's what they told me. So I want you, if you voted last time, go vote for me again. But tell the people that didn't vote for me, they need to vote for me, because they didn't vote for me, they're going to have the government running their lives. And I tell you what, the government can't even run his own life, so I'm going to have him running your life. So don't want to do that. I want to just leave you with this. God is a good God. But I remember hearing this story about these two baseball players. These two baseball players that love baseball. And as they got up in age, they got ready to go leave and go meet his maker, one of them. And as he laying in the hospital bed, the other one came in there and said, Ralph, can you do me a favor? And Ralph said, what can I do for you? He said, can you let me know if there's baseball in heaven? Ralph thought that was a strange request. Well, Ralph passes away. A couple of weeks later, the other guy working in his backyard, and this cloud started coming towards him on a bright sunny day. He knew it had to be Ralph. So he ran into this cloud, and he started shouting, is there baseball in heaven? Is there baseball in heaven? And the voice from this cloud said, well, I got some good and bad news. So I don't care about that. Is there baseball in heaven? The voice said, well, the good news is there's baseball in heaven. And the guy goes, yes. Said, the bad news is you're pitching tomorrow. And the guy goes, no. The reason I'm telling you that, guys, we don't have no more time. What they've done to this country in 2 short years, we give them any more time, we won't recognize America again. The greatest country ever, we will not recognize America again. So it's time for us right now to stand up. It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to sacrifice like so many people have sacrificed. It's time for us to be like our men and women in blue that sacrifice every day. This is the toughest time for them to do their job. It's time for us to sacrifice like our men and women in service that are sacrificing every day for us to have the liberties and freedoms we have. It is time for us to sacrifice like we never sacrificed before. God is good. God bless you guys. Thank you, guys. God bless.